came to Canada in 2023 and I was very pregnant. Like I was maybe
You're
a month
showing.
from giving birth.
Okay, you're
Very
almost there.
strange. A lady that I have never met. I mean, I don't know her. Like, never met her. And she walks up to me and was like, oh, do you know what you're having there? She's like, so how far along are you? I say, God. I say, can I pull your tummy? You know your work. Do that work well. And when the opportunity presents itself, grab it. For me, it's the lack of community, right? I met wonderful people in BAT, you, Obiora. I have wonderful friends that till today we still talk. I've been where I am for a while and that community is not there. I just want to finish my work, do my work and go home. Like, there's nobody I want to walk up to their desk and gist with. Nobody I want to say how far now, waiting there. I don't even have anybody in my office's personal number.
We're recruiting for a role, and I think it was 3 ladies and 2 guys who interviewed, and the guys were all right. They were just there, but they had confidence. And I remember 2 of the ladies in particular, they were really good on paper, like they had experience, but they just shot themselves in the foot because of the lack of confidence. You know, I remember one was with the laptop. There was no plan or no communication that you were going to present. She was just like, oh, I have my laptop here. Oh, do you want it? Like, she was fidgeting. And then remember the other one, mid-answer. And this happens, it's too common because men don't feel this, so it was a bit strange to me. Mid-answer, she was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I messed it up.
Aww.
I'm like, don't do that. Boom. Welcome back to First Take. I have are you the first lady now? Huh? Or first take? What? Anyway, you're a special guest. Welcome back, Ify. How you doing? What's poppin'?
I'm good. We're hoping for spring, but clearly the weather has a mind of its own.
Oh,
Because it's still snowing here.
No, that's too bad because I think spring is fully, well, touch wood, but it's very sunny today. I think it's about 15 degrees. It's, the wife is saying let's go for a walk in the park with our son. So, let's see what holds. It's really good weather. People, out with their flip-flops and shorts. So hoping maybe you can go to Cancun for spring break then, if your location is not working, then you change the location. Yeah. So let's, I guess, weather is one of those things, isn't it? Anyway. Let's start with a quick teaser. I love my this or that, right? So voice notes. Do you listen on normal speed or do you just, times 1.5 or times 2 playback speed?
1.5 is standard though.
Okay, standard.
1.5
Okay.
is standard.
You're
I can't remember the last
kind
time I listened on 1 speed.
on normal speed, Abby.
No, I can't remember the last time. 1.5 is my default.
Even
so
born
sometimes
again.
I go to.
I was gonna say 2, like, because some voice notes be very long, so you want to just.
And as a voice noter, I get it.
Absolutely. So you're not judging people that say, "Oh, why listen to my stuff on 2 times 2 or whatever?"
No, not at all.
All right, fair enough. I think we're in agreement on that one. Next one is: are you an early bird or a night owl?
Early bird. I'm asleep by 9 p.m. So very early bird actually, and I'm awake 6 a.m. and I function power through the day at 9 a.m. 9 p.m. In fact, 8 p.m. Lights are off, girls are in the bed, I'm on the bed, I just doom scroll, then 9 I sleep off. But yes, very early owl. Sorry, early bird, not early owl, sorry.
You wake up in the morning. Yeah, I'm with you. Again, it looks like we're playing a matchup game because I'm an early bird. So I go to bed super early, especially now with little Toby. His bedtime is going to be 7. So, the whole routine, shower and everything, and then trying to put him to bed. I fall asleep before him sometimes. I meant to put him to bed, but, daddy falls asleep. It's been a long day, most days. And then I wake up super early. Sometimes I can wake up 5, 5:30, and the brain is so sharp. I feel like I can do anything at that moment. I can cure cancer. I can solve any like brain surgery, rocket science. I just feel like unstoppable, and then it just goes downhill.
This has been me since uni days. Night class was never for me. TDP till daybreak, never for me. I would
Yeah, you
sleep.
just go
I
there and
sleep
sleep.
standing. I would sleep well. So it's better for me to sleep, wake up early in the morning, and cure cancer.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Speaking of what I say differences now, with this whole jackpot journey that we've been on this topic, I'm very sure there are some differences when you come to a new environment. I know I experienced it, both when I came as a student and when I returned, as a much older adult. And I don't know if there's any particular experience that comes to mind when we talk of culture shock and
Shock.
just differences. Yes, culture shock.
Mm. I think my biggest, there are small culture shocks here and there, but I think the biggest one for me was I came to Canada in 2023 and I was very pregnant. Like I was maybe a
You're
month
showing.
from giving birth,
Okay, you're
very
almost there.
soon,
Mm-hmm.
almost there. And then I walk into Carter's to buy a couple of stuff, browsing through, and a lady that I have never met. I don't know her, like never met her. And she walks up to me and is like, oh my God, you're pregnant. I'm looking at my stomach like
Side
it's not
eye.
news. But I'm like, oh yes, the polite smile, yes. In
Trying
my
to be
mind, I'm
polite.
like, I'm saying, how can I help you? She's like, oh my God, do you know what you're having here? The Nigerian
Gender.
in me was like, no. You
How
don't
can you
ask
ask the
that.
gender?
Is it your
You
business? Do you want to
you
take it
say
to
you
your
don't
village
know now.
people?
Yes, now
What's
they're
going on?
going
I was like,
deliberate
oh
over
no,
it.
we're waiting. Yes, I knew the gender. But I said, oh
Okay.
no, we're waiting. She was like, oh my God, how exciting. People don't wait anymore these days. In my mind, I'm like, they're probably waiting. They just don't want to tell you. But they probably know, but they just don't want to
They're
tell
just
you.
telling you it's a
And she's
surprise
like,
because you're
she's like,
nosy.
so how far along are you? I say, God. I say, is this a village person that
How far
I'm
long?
not aware, that doesn't share my skin color? Because why are you asking me all these questions? And she was like, oh my God, can I feel your tummy? At that point, I was like, oh, no, not really, no. I said, oh my God, what hospital? I was in shock because I was like, surely you can read my face. Surely you can see. I'm trying to be polite, but surely you can see how uncomfortable this conversation is making me. And the conversation finished. And I think I stood at Carter's for maybe 15 to 20 minutes, pondering, like,
Thinking about your
just like
life.
that. No preamble, no nothing. Do you know what you're
Stranger.
having? Where are you having it? How far along are you? Can I touch your tummy?
Due date,
It
Seth.
was it was so shocking for me because I was like, Nigerians would never. Like, the person has to be tight with you to be asking, oh, when's your due date? What are you having? They would allow you, if you want to do a gender reveal, they are all for it. If you want to tell them what you're having, they are all for it. But I think the only people that would ask are maybe like your parents, and those ones, like, them born you, so by extension, they suppose know, you understand. But yeah, it
Absolutely.
was very jarring for me, very, very jarring.
I think you can tell from my reaction that I'm still in shock on your behalf for what you went through. I can't imagine the emotional scarring and everything. You're so right. I remember, speaking of Jackpot and traveling, people even kept that secret from friends, and I know it's a big issue. People would, when they got to in fact, I think somewhere when they got to the airport, they say, oh, I did airport. To say, what did happen for airport now? I did travel this night. Okay. So you're traveling this night and you're telling me you're around the airport. Some did not even reveal until they crossed over,
They've gotten there.
Yeah, some,
It also
settled
begs
down.
the question, what
Mm-hmm.
are we hiding? However, a complete stranger,
Mm-hmm. No, I think,
boundary.
yeah, boundaries. It, I guess, shows how open they are. It reminds me of the story I celebrated, my birthday in January, and open office. My boss comes in and it's like, so in Nigeria, it's happy birthday. They sing the song, and then I think you
Mm-hmm.
respond and say, I am plus 1 2 day or whatever. So he wasn't even singing, just so happy birthday, you go. So how old are you? Like, within earshot of everybody for like, so I said +1. And he's like, "Hmm?" Like, first of all, he was like, what does +1 mean?
What
And
does
then,
plus one mean?
I think he understood it. So, like, how old are you? Then had to now reveal the age. And
Oh,
then
you
they'll now
did? You
make,
told him.
now my boss now, you want me to sack me?
Wait, you know,
But
if you check work day or success factor. If it's your boss, you should go and check
but
success factor if he's so interested.
I think again to your example, I think it was just just conversation. It was just like he would happily tell you he's 50 or something. Like
Well, true.
make jokes about he's going downhill from here or that kind of stuff.
Midlife
But
crisis.
or retirement age. So it's not. I just figured it wasn't a big. And then someone else asked about the age thing. So I just had to own it. And then I was like,
Mm-hmm.
oh my gosh, how rude, man, how impolite. So it's one of those things, isn't it? It comes with listeners who have to adapt to one thing
Mm-hmm.
you have to negotiate. It's not it's not easy, but it's one of those things, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. Speaking of work culture abroad, it's interesting because we both met obviously at the assessment center for British American Tobacco. And I
It's true.
know, and I still remember when we first met in Ikoyi, and then when we now
We went
used
to Ibadan.
the movement, the fleet down to Ibadan. Then we had the whole we lodged in Kakanfo Hotel, like the whole 8 of us, and then the next
Mm-hmm.
day the assessment
Good
center,
time.
and then the whole all the exercises and everything. And oh my god, I thought you were so forward. I was like, I still think you're forward, but I'm joking. But the boldness and everything, and obviously that came true. And obviously, you got in and everything. But it got me thinking, I spent 7 years in BAT. I don't know how long you spent in BAT.
Nine.
Okay, almost a decade, right? And
Almost
then
a decade.
transitioning to working in corporate abroad, I in the UK and you in Canada. I was just wondering, are there any similarities? Are they like, people say corporates are the same, it's the same kiss ass, to get along, or it's the same, all those kind of things. So I was just thinking to, someone listening, a young person who is trying to navigate this whole, new Jackpot world, new environment, new workplace. Are there any things that you think, worked, obviously very successful at British American Tobacco that you think, you can carry through? Any pro tips, any nuggets, just,
Mm-hmm.
freestyle, anything you want to share, really.
So I haven't cracked, I don't think I've fully cracked the corporate world here, but at least from the few things or the few things I've seen and heard, um, there's politics everywhere. It doesn't matter the country. Here you can think, oh, they're fairer. There's politics everywhere. So you just need to know how to play the politics. And the truth is, you need to also, and which is what is common in both places, you need to own your work and do that work well and speak for that work or speak about that work, right? Anytime you have FaceTime or airtime to share that work or to share what you have accomplished, do it. Don't think it makes you forward, or don't be, I don't know, humbly now. Don't think you're bragging. Just own it, right? Because the truth is, and I had done this in the beginning when I got here. I'll do some work and then I'll send it to my line, and she'd ask me, "Oh, would you like to present it?" I'm like, maybe a couple of things would go through my mind. Do I really know this well? Imposter syndrome. Am I really that good? Would they understand my accent? Would they say I'm speaking too fast? Would they this? Would they that? So I tried to shy away from presenting it until I think it was like half year, and we were doing a review, and I just I felt like I hadn't added much or hadn't done much until I started going through my emails, itemizing. And one thing I had learned before, which I forgot to translate, and I forgot to translate late, was writing down achievements that you've made. If you do this, you write it down, you do it. Because when it comes to all those reviews, you tend to forget something that happened 6 months ago that took your whole time, you even forget about it. That's how much sometimes you water down the achievements you've made. So to write it down. So I remember that half year review. I felt like I hadn't done anything, and I now started going through and saying, "Oh, I did this, I did this, I did this," and I felt like I saw that I did a lot of stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I also saw that those stuff I did, you could attribute it to anybody, right? Because I didn't present it, I didn't speak about it, I just did it and sent it off, right? Now, it doesn't mean you want to try and overshadow your superior or anything, but if that FaceTime or that airtime is offered, take it. If that FaceTime or that airtime, even if it isn't offered, ask for it, because that's when your name is out there. They know, oh, to do this, to do that. Now, people send me emails to do stuff, and my line manager is not even in copy. They know it will be done. They know who it should come to, and they don't need to copy my line manager. Maybe if they need to escalate, but nobody has ever felt the need to, oh, let me copy the line manager so the line manager is aware and it can get done, right? And that's the level of trust you need to build, and the level of visibility you also need to build, where people say, oh, can you get XYZ to do this? Can you get XYZ to do that? So a lot of times you will have imposter syndrome, especially if you come to a new country and the economy is struggling right now in every country. Jobs are scarce, AI is taking jobs and all that. So you will most likely go through a time where it takes you a while to find a job. When you now find the job, you feel like you're so grateful for it that you feel you feel like an imposter. You want to shrink and stay in your space and not ruffle any feathers, right? Yeah. So I feel like that's the advice I'd give. Know your work. Do that work well. And when the opportunity presents itself, grab it. And don't always even wait for the opportunity. Ask, can I present this? Can I share this? If you have ideas, ask, say those ideas. And a lot of times, depending on who you work with, maybe send emails on those ideas, right? So that there's a mail trail to show where it originated from. But politics is everywhere. You need to do your work and then do it well. I think that's all. I don't think I have any major, the only major difference, and this is more from a personal point of view than corporate point of view. The personal point of view for me in the difference in corporate is, for me, the lack of community, right? I met wonderful people in BAT, you, Obiora. I have wonderful friends that till today we still talk. Till today we still talk, we still gist, we still yarn about the most random stuff. I've been where I am for a while, and that community is not there. I just want to finish my work, do my work, and go home. Like, there's nobody I want to walk up to their desk and gist with. Nobody I want to say how far now, waiting there. I don't even have anybody in my office's personal number. So there's no even way to build community, right? So I think that's the only thing I really miss coming from Nigeria. So yeah, I think that's it for me.
Absolutely. I understand your point on lack of community, that shared experience, our music, our culture, just the banter, it's actually part of the reason why, this platform is existing, is trying to recreate that kind of those good feelings, because they're down here, aren't they? It doesn't, that we're not expressing it, in our mixed environment, doesn't mean that it's not still there. All the office gossip and all the, what's happening. I miss it too. I agree. And yes, you're all right. You're one of the all right colleagues that I met along the way. I kid, but
so far, all right.
I kid. No, but jokes apart, that boldness I talked about at the beginning, it's actually admirable, because a lot of times, but Nige back home and here, the other day I was on the other side of the interview table. We're recruiting for a role, and I think it was 3 ladies and 2 guys who interviewed, and the guys were all right. They were just there, but they had confidence. And I remember 2 of the ladies in particular, they were really good on paper, like they had experience, and I'm sure they must have prepared, but they just shot themselves in the foot because of the lack of confidence. I remember one was with the laptop. There was no plan or no communication that you're going to present. And she was just like, oh, I have my laptop here. Oh, do you want it? Like, she was fidgeting. And then remember the other one, mid answer. And this happens, it's too common because men don't feel this, so it was a bit strange to me. Mid answer, she was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I messed it up.
Aww.
I'm like, don't do that to yourself. Just fake it, man. Like, the guys would never. The guys would never. Yeah. So, I mean, I know it's not something you face at all. Like I said, you were very bold. You wanted to, make it dominate and everything. So how do you do it, and what do you tell? Because I know it happens. I've heard other, ladies say the same thing of, they don't have the courage and all that kind of stuff. So what do you say to that, and how do you have your own?
So people are built differently. I'm
Yeah.
more. I mean, funny enough, I was telling a friend of mine that in my office they will probably categorize me as socially awkward, and they would be right, but I would be stunned because I'd never categorize myself as that. But they would be right because I don't go for anything. I keep to myself and all that. So people are built differently. Some people have a more personality than others. So I don't know that I can say, oh, I learned it or I did this or I did that. I feel like that's just my personality, right? However, if you are on the other end of the spectrum and it is required, because it's not always required that you have a, for lack of a better word, domineering personality. It's not always required, but if it is required, for example, an interview, as a manager and all that, I think something that may help, and honestly, I can't even speak to this because it's not a challenge I have tried to overcome. It's the other way for me. My
It comes
challenge
down.
is to,
Okay, you're trying to tone it down.
yeah.
Cool
So,
down.
so I feel like maybe for that, maybe if it's an interview, you practice speaking. All these things are all good and fine because when you get there, the nerves hit you. But maybe you practice speaking. I know somebody had said that she interviews her. She, at least if she's able to, particularly with online interviews, she records herself and then she rewatches it and says, "Oh, I could have done this. I could have done that well." And maybe also take a deep breath and organize the thoughts you want to pass across in your head, even if it seems like, oh, you're delaying. It's just a few seconds. That delay in your mind is usually not that huge in reality. And something my line manager always says is, bear with me while I gather my thoughts. Just that sentence, and you take 5 seconds, gather your thoughts, and then you speak. So I can't really say, oh, this is how you overcome it, but maybe those tips will help. I really don't know because it's not something that I'm working on per se.
Yeah,
There are
it
other
comes
things that
naturally
I'm
to you.
working on.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I understand. You have a lot to work on. I, I kid. I'm just messing with you.
Wow.
I'm messing with you, Jerry. Yeah, okay. I see what you mean. It's just a natural, I guess it's inborn, right? Is
Mhm.
it the argument of are you made or are you born that way type of thing?
Nature
All
or
right.
nurture.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Thank you for helping me with that. I was just my brain was just looking for it. All right, just to close, I wanted us to just, spend some few moments just spreading positive cheer. And that's because a couple of weeks ago, I had this random act of kindness and it was so jarring in a very good way. And it's something that you see here as well. I mean, there's a whole conversation of, oh, an Nigerian's kind of, but let's leave that. Everybody's kind, everybody's good. But for me, I just wanted to share it as a way of paying it forward. So I went to an establishment and I wanted to quickly check their opening times or something. So I parked. I didn't even realize that it was paid parking or it was like street parking. But I just, dashed into the reception. In the reception, it took a while. Anyway, long story short, I returned to the car. And lo and behold, I saw a note on the dashboard and it said, "You are about to be issued a ticket and I paid for the parking for you," with just the initials. And oh my gosh, I felt so indebted to this stranger for this
Mm.
absolute random act of kindness. And it just,
Aw.
warmed my heart so much. Do you have any similar stories in Canada to share? Or just generally, maybe it might be prior to that as
Mm.
well.
I think I have one. I was moving into a new apartment, and in the previous place I had a stand, so my TV was on that stand. But moving into the new apartment, it looked like the only option was either to buy those TV consoles or to put it on the wall. And I don't like TV consoles, especially with small kids. They just climb. So I needed to put it on the wall. So
Mhm,
I wasn't sure which wall it was, and my
mhm,
husband wasn't in at that moment. So I wasn't sure which wall would have it. I know I called my husband, I was like, "Oh, you need to would need to find like a handyman that can check the bearing, check the bearing, know where you can mount it and all that. And I was like, so it's like, we don't have TV until you come because I'm not looking for handyman to do bearing. That's not my calling
Yeah,
in this life.
too much
So I
work.
said, let me just even go over to the new neighbors and just ask them, oh, you guys, where do you put your TV? Like, let's have an idea, because it's
Similar
townhouses,
units.
so very similar setup. So I knock on the door and I'm like, oh, hi, I'm moving in. I hadn't even moved in. I had just gotten the place, paid rent. I was like, oh, I'm moving in next door soon. And I was just wondering where you guys have, if you guys have your TV on a console or did you mount it on the wall and where exactly? And funny enough, I just see that neighbor now. So he was like, oh, I have mine on the wall. And I was like, oh, okay. Do you have somebody who helped you? Do you have like a handyman that you can refer me to? He was like, oh, he did it himself. And if I don't mind, he can come and do it for me. That he's into construction. He will check the bearing. He will mount. And I was just like, usually this service is like $200 to $300.
I was going to say,
Oh,
saved
it's
you a
a
lot of
pretty
money.
penny. And I was like, sure. I'm like, can I come back tomorrow? I had no plans to come tomorrow, but I didn't want to take any chances. He was like, oh, sure,
Change
here's
his
my number.
mind.
The next day I drove with just my TV. I was just like, I just drove with the TV and the stand, pressed the bell. He came, helped, did everything. And then when he was leaving, I already had my cutting rods on the floor. So he saw the cutting rods. I was like, oh, do you need help with drilling that in? I was like, yes, please. And then he drilled it in, and yeah, so it was really incredibly kind. He could have just sent me on my way and said, oh, here's the number, or I did it myself and moved on. But he offered, he came. It was really, really nice.
Nah,
Yeah, so
Canadians are very nice. Your story has just triggered. I can't even remember. This should have been my act of goodness story to share, a random act of kindness. Last summer, I don't know if I shared this with you, when we were on a family holiday in Calgary and we were downtown Calgary. And I remember we didn't have internet, obviously we were visiting, and I think it was limited and everything. I wanted to see all the sites around Calgary and the tower and all that kind of stuff. So a family friend had brought us a car, so we parked somewhere, maybe 10-minute walk, and then we found our way there with the limited internet we had. I think it then cut off. We didn't have any internet, and then we had to find our way back. So this was me, my wife, and a toddler. He was maybe 9 months then or something, less than 1 year. And we're looking for this. So we had seen the tower or whatever, the sightseeing. Find our way back to the kind of problem. And I don't know if you know downtown Calgary. I'm sure it's probably similar in Third. All those 22nd and 30, all the numbers and in different directions. So it's like a maze in a way. You can't say, oh, I'm just going to walk, this
go
direction. So for like 10, 15 minutes, we're just lost. You can just imagine, man, woman, and child with trolley and just starting to get frustrated. And then we just see this nice fellow. We asked a couple of people and they were like, oh, you do this, you do this. We're not getting it right. So we asked, it was the third guy we asked, and it was like, just hop in my car. I walk around here. I'll just take you to the place. Because I knew the name of the car park, or I knew an establishment next to it. So rather than tell us, take the 21st and then you take
right,
the
take left.
the 14th. It wasn't just right or left, it's the numbers. I think that was what was doing my head. Southwest 21st, and like I wasn't used to that system at all. Just like, my car is just here. So went in, with the pushchair. He jumped in his car. He dropped us. He was so nice. We were just sharing stories. He works in oil and gas and all those carrier companies. I didn't take his name again. And oh my gosh, I was just so grateful. He gave us, tips on where to go to, Banff, and he had worked in the US. It was just sharing so freely. And I just thought, Canadians had a certain warmth about them, which was actually quite nice. Quite nice. Hopefully some of it will rub off on you, so that you're not as
Ugo, you just came to this show with a gun and just said, let me just, because I don't understand.
It's all in jest. Oh yeah, my person. It's all good. It's all good. Thanks so much, Ify. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, hopefully the weather starts to look up for you. Let me go and enjoy my spring break sunshine before the temperamental British weather changes his mind. All right then. Take care. Bye.
Bye.